Hello, and welcome to week 5. Can you believe how quickly this is going? You are implementing so many great things into your life, and you're changing your health habits. How does that feel? How does it feel to honor your big motivating factor, your big MOFA, and all of your goals? We're going to start today's session like we do all of our sessions and celebrate. Tell me what is going awesome in your life. Tell me, write it in your Quick Map journal. Make sure you write those down so you can go back and reflect on all the positive things going on. When you're really down, there are going to be down times. You can go back and look at those, and you know what? They will just be uplifting. So go ahead, let's celebrate. Let's do our little happy dance. We are celebrating right now. We're celebrating you. All right, I'm curious. Did you think to yourself today, I want to skip today's sessions because I was kind of bad and I'm figuring, what's the use? Why even try? I know I'm going to go back to my old habits. Or have you consistently been following through? But are you feeling a little challenged, or maybe you're bumping into some obstacles? Well, that's perfect. It's not perfect that you're feeling challenged. And it's not perfect that you didn't do some of the things in alignment with your goals and your big MOFA. But it's perfect because you're being honest with yourself. And today we're going to talk about self-sabotage. So you are exactly on track and in the right place. So think about it. You're getting ready to go for your morning walk. And you usually do that first thing in the morning, and you say, nah, you hit that snooze button, they think to heck with it, you just turn off your alarm. What stopped you from following through? Good. Thank you for being honest. I'm glad it's happened because it really gives us a chance to see how self-sabotage shows up in your life. It can show up in so many ways. For some of us, it's the fear of changing so much that we're going to be growing apart from the people we love. For others, self-sabotage shows up when everything starts to feel a little too good. When we start feeling really good in ways that are unfamiliar to us, sometimes our bodies kind of freak out and they want to get back to normal, back to the way things always were. And others find that when they put themselves ahead of others or of doing other things, they don't want to disappoint those other people. Let's say you and your friends go out every weekend for pizza and beer, but that's no longer in alignment with your big MOFA or your health goals. And so you're afraid, you know what, I don't want to let my friends down. We've been doing this for so many years. And how that shows up is you're not putting yourself first. And you're starting to feel bad about yourself, the word bad. And that's how we can easily get derailed. And you know what? The key to shifting this is really quite simple. And I've created a handout specifically for this. It's in your course material. I am going to share it with you right now so you can see what I'm talking about. And it's this handout called, Oh Yeah, about self-sabotage. So what I would like you to do is read this out loud. Yeah, read it out loud. You may be alone, but that's okay because you're speaking to yourself and you're speaking to your subconscious. So go ahead, pull that out and read that out loud. You can pause the video, just pause it, read it out loud, and then come back when you're done. Okay? We'll see you in a minute. Okay, welcome back. How did that resonate with you? Did it hit home? What I would love for you to do is write in your journal, in your Quick Map journal, different ways that you recognize your self-sabotaging behaviors. And here's the key. We must take 100% responsibility for our actions and how our life turns out. This is both liberating and empowering. You are in control of your own health destiny. You are your own boss. You're the boss of you. Okay, think about your 6-week goals. We're going to dig a little deeper here. Go back to page 7 of your Quick Map journal and look at what you wrote down for your 6-week goals. And I wonder, what are all the good reasons for getting what you want? If you're a little stuck, think of things like, I want to feel more confident. I want more energy. I want to look better in my clothes. Those are some good reasons for getting what you want. My partner will look at me with those longing eyes again. So write down, what are those good reasons for getting what you want? Go ahead and put that right in the journal. There's a page for everything. So go ahead and put that down. And now I'm wondering, what are all the bad reasons for getting what you want? You're going, what? How could I have any bad reasons for wanting to get healthy? Well, there may be some bad. For example, I have to give up the foods that I really love. Or my partner or my friends, like I said, always want to go out on the weekend and we always have dessert. And I feel like I'm going to be letting him down if I'm like a party pooper. The holidays, my birthday are coming and I won't be able to eat that yummy chocolate cake. If I get really healthy, my partner may not love me anymore. You see, sometimes there are more bad reasons that we can think of that we don't immediately recognize. And I wonder who else might be affected negatively if you change and get the results you want, or if you follow through in this way. One of my clients talked about her best friend who chose not to go on a health journey. So she's still stuck back with eating foods that don't nourish her, not doing what she needs to do for her health, forgetting about working out. And their relationship is changing. Her friend is getting a little jealous of the great outcomes that she's seeing. So who is it for you? Who could be affected negatively by you getting what you are setting out to do? Right. Anybody else? So just think, what a great strategy you have choreographed to make sure that he or she doesn't stop loving you. Can you see that keeping your weight on has had a positive intention for you? You might even say it's been a functional strategy for you all of these years. So imagine that there's some part of you that was put on the job to make sure that you felt safe and that you belonged. Belonging simply means to be the same as. And when we keep our excess weight on, we can ask the question, who or what am I wanting to belong with by keeping my weight on? There is a part of you that's responsible for ensuring that. And let's just notice that that part of you has done an excellent job. So go ahead and connect with that part of you inside, deep inside, that has been afraid to change. Go ahead, close your eyes and really connect with that part of you. And thank that part of you for giving you this method to to stay safe and making sure that you belong. And now gently explain to that part of you that there's some exciting developments happening, that we're upgrading our software in our operating system called our body. And let those parts know that we know that they've had a positive intention for creating connection, love, and belonging. And we want to preserve that positive intention while updating the methods we use to carry out that intention. The old way of doing things like binging or skipping yoga or the negative self-talk and judgment that we have, eating foods that don't really even taste good to us anymore, but they worked in the past, all of that is no longer necessary. And don't worry, tell the parts of you, don't worry. We have a plan in place to make this smooth transition to the new habits. And very, very soon, these new habits will feel easy and natural. So take a minute right now, pause the video, go to page 37 of your Quick Map journal, and just jot down what's going through your head right now. Come back when you're done. Okay, welcome back. So now let's put the conditions in place so that the future scenario will be familiar, but you'll have the tools to make a conscious, positive choice rather than that dysfunctional, destructive one. So picture yourself in the coming week or whenever time frame that you want. That same situation occurs where you're getting ready to self-sabotage. You're rolling over and turning off your alarm clock. And ask yourself, what needs to be in place to set myself up for inevitable success? What do I need to do to make sure I am successful in reaching my goals? Great. And if you follow through with that, what will having that do for you? And is there anyone else that might benefit from your following through? You see, the key here is to take 100% responsibility for our actions and how our life turns out. You are in control of your own destiny. You took this journey because you want to feel energized. You want to feel healthy. You even want to feel sexy, whatever it is for you, and you're moving toward that. You know, many people stop short of having their biggest breakthrough right before they're on the verge of achieving it. Breakdown often happens right before breakthrough. You are perfect already, and I am here to support you and stretch you to be the highest version of yourself so you can hold on to that and live powerfully. I am here to hold up that mirror and remind you to continuously fall in love with yourself. Use page 38 of your Quick Map journal if you feel like giving up. Any of those times when you feel like giving up, go to that page, write down what you're feeling, write down your emotions so you know that you're being triggered. Remember, you're in control. Okay, great. Let's kind of shake out that heavy stuff and wiggle your shoulders. You're doing your shimmy shoulders. I'm not good at that. Loosen your jaw, kind of loosen up your neck. And we're going to talk about something fun now. We're going to be a little playful. Because sometimes when self-sabotage comes into our life, it simply means we need to be bad. And BAD is an acronym for break free from your routine, act naughty, and do something crazy and fun. Because sometimes we just want to be bad. And I call this your rebellious inner child syndrome. It's a way of rebelling against outside authority because sometimes we just want to break free and be crazy. Most people do not like being told what to do. How about you? Some of these mechanisms that we've used to rebel in the past, they're kind of out of date. They're dysfunctional and they're destructive. As a health conscious adult, we may need to revise our strategy while still having the experience of being bad or naughty. Does that make sense? It's natural when we hear, don't do that, don't eat that, we want to rebel. So when you want to rebel, when you feel that coming up with you, what age does that remind you of? Let's pick an age. You have your own age. I'm picking 5. So we're all of our ages all the time. And sometimes we just need to cater to that, inner 5-year-old. And that's why in today's session, we're going to laugh at ourselves and we're going to play. So we're going to create a list of things to be naughtier, to be bad, that are not disruptive to your health. And we might even borrow from your inner 5-year-old. So let me give you some examples of some of the things I have on my list. And they're going to seem super silly, but they're fun for me. And one of them is crank calling one of my friends. I love doing it. I sometimes do it in a foreign accent, usually British, because that's kind of the only one I know. And I just say something silly. And she knows it's me, and we both laugh, and I chuckle to myself after. But if I'm feeling naughty, I'll do a crank call. Another one that I did when I was working in one organization, I was the chief operating officer of an organization, and I was always working later than everybody else. And a friend of mine, a coworker, had a little stuffed squirrel on his desk. And so after everybody had gone for the day, I went and I kind of terrorized the squirrel. He had this wire in basket, so I would put the wire basket over him like he was in a cage, and then I'd put like chocolate covered raisins like he had pooped in the basket. One time I even strung him up by a telephone wire from the ceiling, which was kind of a little scary, but I laughed at it. And then one night I was working like always, and I went to terrorize the squirrel. But what I didn't know is somebody else was working late. And so I was doing whatever I was doing. And all of a sudden I saw a head pop up. We were in cubicles, a head pop up. And she said, "That's been you doing that to the squirrel?" And we both had a huge laugh. I swore her to secrecy, and we even started doing it together. So she and I are friends to this day because we started terrorizing the squirrel. It gave me a way to be naughty in a not destructive way, in a fun way. So what might be some things for you? Here are some examples. Draw a mustache on a poster, or dance in the aisles of the grocery store to the Muzak when they have it like piped in. One of my friends, and this just cracks me up, she gave an ice cream cone to one of her grandchildren, a vanilla ice cream cone, but it wasn't vanilla ice cream, it was mashed potatoes. So that wasn't naughty, or that was naughty. It wasn't destructive, but it was fun. So what about you? What are some things that you could do to be naughty, not in a destructive way, certainly not destructive to your health, but start making a list. There's a page in your Quick Map journal on, you know what, let me share that real quick. Okay, so there's the prompt. We're going to do that in just a minute. Here's your bad menu. So go ahead. And this is a fillable PDF, like I've told you before. This is fillable. So go ahead and just write some stuff down that you can do to be bad. Have fun with it. I mean, if nothing else, we need to have fun in our life, right? Great. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Share some of the things in the Facebook group. I'm sure everybody will get a big chuckle out of it. And you know what? We can borrow from each other. Now, I want to give you another exercise that we'll do really quick because it ties in perfectly to the bad menu. And we're going to create our nourishment menu. So I want you to imagine you're there, it's 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you need a snack. So you head for the refrigerator or your pantry, the cupboard, a vending machine if you're at work. And remember, with no judgment, I just want you to get curious. What are you thinking at the time? What is the emotion that's going through your head at the time that you need that snack? Think about that. Tap into that emotion or that feeling. Are you bored? Are you frustrated? Are you irritated? What is the emotion? What we're doing here is we're creating your intuition. So you know when a certain emotion comes up, that triggers you to go for the food. So next time, when you start to learn about these emotions and feelings, okay, I'm stressed, I'm angry, that usually triggers peanut M&Ms. And so now you know that. And what we're going to do is create a menu of other things you can do that don't have anything to do with food. So turn to page 40 of your quick map journal. I'm going to share my screen again. And what we're going to do is you're going to complete this sentence. I feel whatever your feeling is, when or because, whatever that is. And then we're going to finish it with an I want. But right now, so for example, I feel lonely when my husband goes to work and I have to stay home. Either you're working from home, you're a stay-at-home mom, you work in the house, whatever that is. I feel when or because blank. What is that for you? Good, good. Now fill in I want. Not the food that you want, what the food might do for you. What is the experience you are looking for? I want connection because I feel alone. So we're going to find a way to get you what you want without the self-destruction. I'm wondering, what are some non-edible, nourishing ways to meet your emotional needs for the cravings that your statement, I feel whatever because I want. So let's go, for example, the one we used. I'm bored when my partner goes to work and I have to stay home. I want connection. So this is a little different than the bad menu because these are specific things that will fulfill your cravings for pleasure, attention, connection, sweetness. And it starts with recognizing that you deserve to experience all of those things. You deserve that connection. You deserve to relax. So there are a few things from having a deep conversation to a relaxing bath that might nourish you. And we want to have those things, and we want them to be practical. It may not be practical to go to have a bath in the middle of the afternoon. So we want these things to be accessible to you at any time. And they have to be something that you can do regularly. So we need to think about how we can fill up your life that is naturally has the attention and connection built in. Does that make sense? You see, what part of it that drives our energy and makes us have poor choices is we don't have these things automated. We don't have them built in already. We have to think about them every day. And then if you're already bored and you have a need for something, if you don't have something right at your fingertips, you're going to go for the snack right now, because that makes sense, doesn't it? Because that's what you've been habituated your whole life. You're going to go for the snack because that's right there and you need it right now. What we're going to do is we're going to create your personal nourishment menu and have that available to you so it can be right by your desk or where you can see it all the time. So when you're feeling that boredom, that anger, that frustration, you can look on your list and say, you know what, I could do that. Maybe it's, again, just a walk around the block. Maybe you could just go outside and do your work from there. You know, enjoy nature. Maybe you could have flowers on your desk and look at the beauty of the flowers. Or go sit with your pet and just, you know, love on your pet. You could journal. You could meditate. You could even send a handwritten note to a close friend. What are the things that could nourish you? What is on your nourishment menu? Write those down, as many as you can possibly think of. And then when you get bored, you can go, you know what? I could go in my backyard and pick some tomatoes, whatever it may be. You know, what's beautiful about this is you can anticipate the wonderful things that you can do. What are some other things that could help with boredom, especially at work? Because it's easy to get bored at work in the afternoons because our mind has been working all day long and all, you know, we just need to do something else. You know, sometimes when you're bored, you just need a way to notice that you're not being productive anymore. Have you ever been looking at your screen and you've read something 1,000 times and you have no idea what it says? You know your eyes have been moving, but you don't know what you've been reading? You're no longer being productive. So you need a way to get inspired. There's a decision point. Am I going to try to continue to stare at this screen and get stuff done? Or am I going to do something to nourish myself right now so that I can get re-inspired? Go to your nourishment menu, pull it out, and look at some things that you can get re-inspired. Because boredom is one of the things that leads us to snacking faster than anything else. So we want to rewire that so we have more options on our menu. Right? Then we can be really in alignment with our big motivating factor and our goals. Now you have two supportive rather than destructive menus. You have one for your rebellious inner child, and then you have one where you're craving pleasure and satisfaction. So what I want you to do is continue creating your bad and your nourishment menus. We've added some today, but continue to think about things that you could do. Brainstorm with people in your life, you know, see if they can come up with things. Put stuff in the Facebook group and we can all help each other. Like I said, we can steal from each other. Remember, these are non-food related ways of nourishing ourselves. The first one is when you're feeling rebellious. The second one is when you're seeking pleasure, satisfaction. Try to come up with 10 for each menu. You can put them on a pretty piece of paper. You have them in your quick map, but you could also put them on a pretty piece of paper and decorate them all up and, you know, hang them next to your desk or wherever in your home that you need that. And so that you're feeling that boredom or whatever that emotion is for you, you can think, I'm not hungry. I'm feeling whatever your emotion is. I know I'm not hungry. I'm angry right now. I know I'm not hungry. I'm stressed right now. And I'm wanting pleasure, or I'm wanting a little rebellion. Let me look at my menus and see what I can do in place. Because you know what? When you're in that space already, this is kind of like, relate this back to your hunger and your fullness scales. When you reach your 7, if you don't have those nourishment and bad menus available, and you've reached your 7 of boredom or of anger, like I said before, you're going to reach for the food because that's habituated. You don't have to do that anymore because you have way many more things to do. They're so much more healthy for your body and your mind. So this next week, continue with any previous action steps that you're working on. Become hyper aware of any temptation to self-sabotage. Recognize what that behavior is. Go to your quick map, write that down so you understand what those emotions and feelings are, so you know when they come, you know how to handle them. What problem are you trying to solve when you're solving or avoiding when that behavior comes up? And then what might be a healthier coping strategy? Perfect. All right. Next week is graduation week. We're almost at the end. We're going to go through graduation and next steps. So I can't wait to see you next week. Have a healthy week. Have a wonderful week. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.